All right, well, let's move to the next kind of statistical item here, and these are called box plots. Now, if you've not seen these before, you're going to see it's basically the box of the data gives you the interquartile range, right? The 75th to the 25th percentile. There'll be a line in the middle that will be your median, and then you'll also see some whiskers on either end that kind of tell you how much distribution is in that for that particular variable, right? So what box plots do they provide an understanding of the distribution of a set of data, whereas the histogram just gives me a single piece of data. Box plots give me an idea about a set of data. It will show the median and the interquartile range within a box, and also identify any outliers, anything that's outside, and show you how big those are, and show you how long those outliers are. All right, so that's what a box plot's designed to do. Just give you again another idea of the kind of the shape, what you're looking at as far as distribution of your data. So the data that we're going to create for this so we're going to create a 100 by 3 array with estimated means of 3.5 and 4. And expected standard deviations of 1.25, 1.00, and 1.25. The array is defined as D. So that's how we're gonna label our array. Okay. The box plot function, the command, positions each box with a constant width. In this example, means and outliers are not being shown. So what you're going to see is we're going to put in show means and show flyers are going to all equal false. All right, you're going to see that. The color of the median line, the box, and the whiskers and the caps are all going to be defined. All right, so we're going to define those colors, right? These are the things you got to think about as you're designing it, right? And again, experiment with a different number of iterations of this. Including putting two plots on the same graphic. Right? It's go crazy. All right, so let's make the data. Right? Again, we're we're getting ready. We finally started figuring out what the process is. Let's make the data. Again, we'll put this in a cell. np.random.seed. Let's set this one at 10. We're going to create our array. So we're going to call our array D, and D is going to equal to np.random normal. So pulling from a random normal distribution. And I made an error up here. It's not 3.5, it's 3, 5, and 4. So those are the means. So each box is going to have 3 means, 3 standard deviations. So 3, 5, and 4. That was a typo. My apologies. All right. So random normal, right? And we have to put in all of our parameters. All right. So first parameter is the mean. So 3, 5, 4. Okay. Then comma. The next set, which is the standard deviation, 1.25, 1.00, 1.25. Right. So this, I'm putting in I'm selecting the mean and the standard deviation for this array, and the array size is going to be 100 by 3. Right, so that's the array. This is going to create the data. Let's just take a look and see what this does. Right, so we've got NP. We're going to run this cell, and we're going to see this array. Right, where's my array? Here it is. So here's my array. Here's all the numbers I just put in there. Right, that's what that array does. That's what that array statement does, and it should get close to mean, and should get close to these means and standard deviations. Remember, it's pulling from a random normal distribution. All right, let's make our plot. This is it's making the box plots. All right, so big AX is equal to PLT dot subplots. Great. We're going to create a new variable. We're going to call it VP. All right. And it's AX.boxPlot. And we're going to put in the array D. And we're going to make it positions are going to equal, and this is going to be vertical positions, 2, 4, 6, or say horizontal positions, so 2, 4, 6. We're going to make the widths the same, are going to equal 1.5. If I wanted to have different widths, I'd put it in brackets and give you different widths, so that's another way of doing it. We're going to this thing called patch underscore artist, and that's going to equal true. All right, comma, come down here. Show means, I'm going to call that false. Show flyers, I'm also going to make that false. Median props. Okay, and we're going to put this in I'm going to bring this down here. Median props, and we put this in a curly brackets. So color is, put a colon in there, is white. All right, still in the squiggly brackets. And then line width, and that's going to be in quotes. Line width is going to be equal to 0.5. All right, so that gives me my median properties. That's what median props mean, properties. Put another comma there. I'm going to go for another line. Our box properties, box props, are going to equal squiggly brackets. The face color is going to be CO, C0, so C0. The edge color is going to be white. Okay, great. Another comma, and I'm going to put one more in here. Actually, I also want to put the line width in here too. So line width, and that's got to be in quotes as well. Line width, and that is going to be in quotes 0.5. Okay, now I can go, here's my comma. We're going to go over here now. Beautiful. Okay, and whisker props, so whisker properties, that is going to equal, again, squiggly brackets, we're going to have color, and that's going to be C0, in quotes, C0. It looks like it needs to be a capital C. And then we're going to have line width, again, all in quotes, and we want that to be, this doesn't have to be in quotes, so 1.5. All right, so line width don't have to be in quotes, right? So, and probably that's the same for this one here. This, I probably put this in quotes inappropriately. And I've got a comma in there too, so it's even worse. So that's a syntax error. So so when you have text, that's going to be in quotes. Okay. All right. So we've got our whisker props. Now let's put in our cap props. So when you see it, these are going to be the caps on the whiskers. So cap props, and we're going to make that equal to. And you know what? Just for ease, I'm just going to copy because I want it to be exactly the same as my whisker prop. So I'm just going to come down here and paste that. Okay, I think I got it. My limits, I'm going to go way back up because I want my limits to look exactly the same as these limits here. So I'm going to copy those and paste them down here. So my limits are going to be the same, X limits, tick range, all that stuff. And then plt dot show, there we go. Okay, so we've already got the D array created. This is making the box plot. Let's put it in a cell, and we're gonna run this cell. So let's take a look at what this plot looks like when we're done. There you go. So here's our medians. Here's our interquartile range. These are the caps. These are the whiskers, right? And you've got this one's at 3, this one's at 5, this one's at 4, right? You go back to our data, we want 3, 5, 4, so you can see how that goes. And we want 1.25, so standard deviation here. This is narrower, this is a little bit bigger, but do you notice it didn't get that much bigger, so very interesting. Again, it's coming from a random distribution, right? I don't look at that as being identical, so 3, 5, 4, I think that's all good. And you can make different things, so maybe you want to see the outliers. So let's show the outliers, right? And see what does that, run that. And now you see some of the little outliers and what the outlier shapes are. And you can probably, and guarantee you can also start formatting what you want the outliers to look like. So play with this. There's lots of different things you can use. What is CO? Maybe we've got to go in and do a little bit of Googling for different kinds of box props colors and whisker props colors and get different colors for that. And maybe all I have to do in here is say, let's call it green. I don't know if that'll work or not, but let's try it. Again, this is try things, see what happens. So I can just type in a color, right? I want the median props to be yellow. I just type in yellow. and I want to make the line width equal to 1.0, right? It's, right, whatever you want to do. All right, so those are some of the things to kind of play around with.